back to Old Fox Racing PC. Welcome back to Laguna Seca here in round 9 of the summer 2022 season. This is race 2, and we are again with the Puma P052, this Brazilian low power stock car, which we have already seen provided some very good racing. Now we are going to go through the field for the starting grid of this race. We have one extra driver compared to race 1, so race 2 will be fought by 10 drivers. Mark Alden and Diogo Silva are again on the first row, followed by Rob Oldham and Jürgen Smets. On the second, Fred Bakker and Kev Allen on the third, Simon Allen and Jorge Luna on the fourth, and the fifth row, it's Matt Coward and Christian Clark. As we go trackside to figure out who is going to win this race, and away they go, 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 go! And Mark Elder has a good start, followed by Diogo Silva and followed by the rest of the field. Let's go with the drone view. Everyone seems to be very well behaved. Look at this Cavallo on the inside of Jürgen Smets, who in turn is trying to overtake Rob Oldham. And look at that, that's Cavallo losing time. And we'll have a closer view on what happened to Cavallo. He's not last, but he's now getting overtaken by Matt Coward. What happened to Cavallo? I think we had a bit of a 3-into-1 in the first corner, and indeed Kev was inside. You can see he was inside trying to overtake Jürgen Smets. Jürgen also trying to overtake Rob Oldham. There's just a bit of contact, and that's enough to send Kev towards the pit lane exit. He does not lose a lot of speed, but he does lose a lot of momentum and ends up in 9th place. In fact, he drops to last. Now Matt Coward is up into 9th. Mark Elder maintains the lead of this race. As you can see, the top, well, pretty much everyone is nose to tail. Diogo Silva trying to put pressure on Mark, just like in race 1. Let's see if Mark is able to check out from everyone like he did in the first race. Cavallo already up into 9th spot. Christian Clark up into 8th. As we go through the field, let's see Fred Bakker. Fred finished in 2nd place in race 1. He's got a bit of work to do because he's currently in 6th, followed by Simon Allen, followed by Christian Clark. Nice battles here in the midfield as always. But Mark Elder is again going to lead the first lap of the race. And we can see already the top 4 checking out from the rest of the field. A bit of a train is being formed here behind Jorge Luna. Look at this, Simon Allen is on the outside of Fred Bakker. Oh, and Christian Clark now is on the inside. Nice opportunistic move as he is trying to go side by side with Simon Allen. We are already on lap 2. And Christian Clark up into 7th. So that's a good move there by Christian as he started 10th, overtaken 3 cars in 1 lap. And he's already ahead of both the Allens as we go back to the race leads. Mark Elder, 8/10 of a second from Diogo Silva. 3rd is Rob Oldham. Nice battle between these 2 drivers. Jürgen Smets is still in touch with the leading trio, but Fred Bakker, something happened to Luna, and we will see, because we'll see what happened to him. He's definitely been, but well, he was in 5th spot. This is what happened to Luna. I think he just runs a little bit wide there. And no, he doesn't, but he still loses control of that Puma car. And look at that, everyone goes through. Nicely done there by Simon Allen. Simon Allen was opportunistically going ahead of Christian Clark. Simon now up into 6th place. And Kev Allen is putting pressure on. And Kev is trying on the outside of Luna. And oh, and he hits the wall. What on earth happened to Kev Allen? He's back into last place. And I think here he definitely ran wide. Let's have a look at all this sequence from Kev's perspective, because we can also see how Simon Allen actually opportunistically, there you go. Oh, and Christian actually was running wide. He was trying to avoid Luna. It does not spin, but he loses the position to Simon Allen and to Kev. Well, he's running side by side with Kev here. Kev is coming with more momentum, but now he's going to go on the outside of the next corner, and that's where the action will happen. Kev trying to break later than Christian. Everyone giving each other room, but now Kev Allen just runs out of room. Now he floors it, but this car, probably not the greatest idea when you are off the track. Reset button is allowed in Old Folks Racing PC. He does lose quite a lot of time, and is now in 10th place. Lap 2 out of 12. We should have 12 laps in this race, just like we had in race 1, and we can follow the race leader, Mark Elder. He has led every lap of the first race. He is leading every lap of the second race, as Rob Oldham is trying to put some pressure on second place man, Portuguese driver Diogo Silva, but to no avail there in the last corner. And Rob is still in third place. Fourth is Jürgen Smets, that has actually recovered nicely. He's still in touch with the leading pack, but Fred Bakker, well, Fred is 3.5 seconds behind fourth place, and he's starting to get a lot of green in his mirrors, because Simon Allen and Christian Clark are both coming to try to get into a top 5 position. We should follow this battle, because it is potentially going to develop into a bit of a classic here. Behind these drivers, it's Luda, Matt Coward, and of course Kev Allen, that has been delayed by that incident when he was running side by side with Christian Clark. Lap 3 out of 12. The top 4 remain the same, but the big battle is gonna be here, because Fred Bakker, who of course finished in second place in race 1, is struggling a little bit to be in touch with the leading pack. And Mark Elder is a second ahead of everyone, but he hasn't really opened a gap as big as in race 1. Through the corkscrew they go for the third time. Let's see if there are any developments in the battle for second place, as Rob Oldham was quite close to Diogo on the previous lap, not quite as close as, well, in this one. Let's go back to this trio of drivers, Fred Bakker, Simon Allen and Christian Clark, as they cross the line to complete their third lap. And there is a big battle there between Kev Allen and Matt Coward. Yes, they're running side by side into the main straight, which is actually quite curvy, but the start-finish line is there, and Kev is ahead of Matt, so Matt down into 10th place. Look at Mark Elder. He's really he really hasn't opened a huge gap, just like we saw in race 1. But Rob Oldham still very much in touch with second place man Diogo Silva. Jürgen Smets is a very attentive spectator of this battle, and let's go back to the battle for 5th spot. And something has happened there, because it's Christian Clark. Christian Clark has gone up into 6th, and we will have a replay of that move. And that sounded like a great move there. I think Simon just, well, Simon, he just clips the curb. He's a little bit off the track, and that just puts him slightly out of shape at the corner exit. And here comes Christian with more momentum. Very clean racing between these two drivers. Everyone giving each other space, but Christian definitely with the inside line and more momentum uh, is up into sixth, actually, not fifth. I'm sorry. Now, as these two drivers battle, they lose a bit of time to fifth place man Fred Parker, who has opened a bit of a gap, actually, 1 second more or less, 1.5 seconds already ahead of Christian. Let's see. Oh, and Christian now runs wide there. Christian runs wide in the corkscrew. We've seen uh, we've seen something happen to Luna. We have seen something happen to Luna because he is down to well, he is being overtaken by Kev Allen. Kev Allen slowly but surely going up the field, and he tries to defend, just runs a little bit off road there, but no harm, no foul. Race with a mark Elder 1.3 seconds as Diogo Silva is now again entertained with Rob Oldham, as Rob is really close to the Portuguese driver. It's coming from the inside now, but not this time, says Diogo Silva, as he breaks later than Rob and keeps that second place. Simon Allen, in the meantime, is putting pressure on Christian Clark. The battle for sixth place continues to be very active indeed. And Simon potentially going to go for a dive in turn one. I think he's a bit too far behind. But, well, not this time. Not this time. As these drivers continue to be sixth and seventh. Now, Kev Allen, he has lost around 8 seconds with that incident. And maybe towards the back end of this race, he could recover. He's done a 1:47.382, so definitely good pace there. But he's well, he was a second faster than Simon Allen, and he needs to do that for a few more laps. Christian Clark also 1:47.521, but Simon Allen 1:48.285. The leader is running in the 1:44s, and pretty much the pack behind is running on 1:45s, as Rob Oldham is going to have another go at the same place. He does seem to negotiate his last set of corners very nicely indeed, and probably faster than Diogo, but Diogo just managing to put the car in the right place and brake at the right time to prevent Rob from going into second place. And look at that, now the gap is actually under a second. It has been a little bit over a second for the last few laps, but definitely we do have a bit of a battle for the lead here that we did not have in race one, as they are now at the end of this lap at the midpoint of this race. Let's go back and see how this one, well, Fred Bakker is under pressure from Christian Clark. And Simon Allen is just behind. Fred definitely struggling a little bit more in race two as he was in the leading pack. Look at this, Christian Clark is off the road. Is off the road momentarily, but doesn't seem to have lost any time whatsoever. Still in sixth place, and very, very close indeed with, let's go, on board with Christian Clark. He may go for a move. He may go for a move in the corkscrew. He just lost a little bit of time through this fast sweeper, and I don't think he's in a position to make any moves. In fact, let's see where Simon Allen is behind him. Simon is also too far behind at this point. Let's go and see again Rob Oldham trying to do the usual move, but not really successful at diving at this last corner. 1.2 seconds is the gap at the front. But look at how much it reduces in the last corner. Diogo Silva there doing a good job. as he recovered at least a couple of tenths just in one corner. Look at this. Christian Clark is right on the tail of Fred Bakker, and is close enough. He's close enough to make a move. He's close enough to make a move here, and he's making it. So he's going to go on the inside of turn one. Let's see, side by side. I think that's probably job done for Christian, as Fred gives him space. And ooh, oh, whoa, 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 and downward contact. Contact will have a replay here, but it seems to me this is what happened in race one between Diogo Silva and Kev Allen. I believe that Christian was already spinning when the contact happened. Let's see it from his perspective in the chase camera. So he's side by side. Fred is giving him room. He goes a little bit on the inside into the curb to give space to Fred. Goes again. Oh, but then it just floored it there and slightly missed the apex, the second apex of turn one. Now he's got a wheel in the gravel and he's pointing to the left. He probably lost a bit of momentum, and here comes Fred Bakker, who was of course trying to defend the position, and the contact happens. I think that will boil down as a racing incident, as Christian was already spinning and losing speed as Fred hit him. Look at this, Cavallo on the inside there, and Christian right into the mix again as he joins another battle almost immediately. Cavallo now in 7th spot. Let's have a look at where Simon Allen is, because yes, of course Fred also lost a bit of time there with that incident. Although Christian did lose 8 seconds is my estimate, and is down into 8. But Simon Allen could take advantage of Fred's recovering momentum, and could use it to go into the top 5. Nice battle between these two drivers. Let's have a look again at the last corner, as Mark Elder is now 1.3 seconds. But look at the gap again in the last corner. It's 1.5 seconds. And now, well, not this time, as Diogo actually runs wide in the last corner. So that wasn't the fastest line around that particular corner. And now he's got to contend with Rob Oldham. I think Rob is a little bit too far behind. Let's look at the battle between Fred Bakker and Simon Allen. Fred has opened a few car lengths of a gap. So these two also continue to be now 5th and 6th. Let's look at Kev Allen and Christian Clark. Kev Allen still ahead of Christian, as we are already in the second half of this race. Mark Elder has again led every lap, but is not having the easy life he had in race 1. 1.3 seconds, Diogo Silva in 2nd spot. Rob Oldham is the last podium man, and look at this, we haven't really seen it, but Jürgen Smets has lost a bit of time. He was in touch with the leading pack for most of the first half of this race, but now he just dropped back. He's already 3.5 seconds behind Rob Oldham. He is, however, 10 seconds ahead of Fred Bakker, who continues to battle with Simon Allen. That's the closest battle right now in the track. We'll keep an eye on the battle for 7th place as well between Cavallo. Oh, look at this, he's on the inside. Didn't quite work there. He was too far behind. But definitely Simon is, he wants that top 5 position. Let's go back again into the last corner, as the gap has now increased a little bit, 1.5 seconds, lap 8, 4 to go, well 5 to go including this one. Rob Oldham in 3rd, Jürgen Smets now running on his own. Fred Bakker is in 5th. Oh, in fact, we haven't seen it, but Simon Allen has actually made it to the top 5. He was putting a lot of pressure. Ooh, and maybe some contact happened here. Now Fred Bakker is, oh, and Fred almost looks like, well, this was a slightly slightly odd situation as Fred almost looks like he went into neutral, and Simon just sailed by Fred Bakker. A bit of a mistake there at the exit of the last corner. And, well, Fred Bakker is actually, well, he just lost fifth place and he's got to contend with Kev Allen. Look at Kev Allen's pace, 1:45.587. That is the pace of the leaders of this race. Kev Allen doing a great job after that incident a few laps ago. We were not sure if he had the time and pace to recover, but he definitely has recovered. And now look at that, we still have 4 laps to go, and is not, well, he's very close to sixth place man Fred Bakker. Simon Allen is has opened a gap, and Fred is really struggling in race 2. Remember, he was racing in second place and always in the podium position in race 1. 1.5 seconds is the gap at the front, and Rob Oldham has lost a bit of steam there as he is now 1.3 seconds behind Diogo Silva. He's running on his own, and of course tire wear with this car is becoming more of a problem in the second half of this race. We've got 3 laps to go now at the line. Mark Elder leads from Diogo Silva. Let's go on board with the Portuguese driver. He is 1.2 seconds behind Mark. He's reduced the gap somewhat. Very tricky car to stop. This Puma Brazilian low power stock car. Third place man is Rob Oldham. Fourth is Jurgen Smets. Fifth is Simon Allen. As we saw, Fred Bakker is in sixth place, and he is trying to keep that position from Kev Allen and Christian Clark. Both are within a couple of seconds of Fred in 7th and 8th respectively. Lap 10 already. Let's keep an eye at the gap at the front. 1.3 seconds. It keeps oscillating between 1.2 and 1.5. Diogo has opened a bigger gap now to Rob. Rob seems to be struggling a little bit. Probably tire wear. Look at that. He almost lost it there in that number 96. Through the corkscrew one more time for the top 3. Jurgen Smets in the 4th place. Simon Allen in 5th spot. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. There's action here as well, Fred Bakker and then Kev Allen in sympathy just went off. This is before the corkscrew. We'll have a replay of what happened as the car in front of everyone is Simon Allen, and Fred is going to go off, and Kev just goes off in sympathy, and they, whoa, do they avoid spinning? Yes, they do. But where is Christian Clark is my question. Where is Christian Clark? And there is Christian Clark. There's the answer. Christian Clark on the inside of the corkscrew. This is tricky, but Kev is giving him room. And again, Christian, nice opportunistic move up into 7th place. He could go for 6th, and I think basically all these guys have destroyed their tires. I think from Simon Allen to Fred and whoa, Kev Allen is in the wall. Kev Allen is in the wall. Kev Allen is in the wall. I don't think he had any contact. I think, well, he just runs wide again, and this is a, oh, that he couldn't control the car. He doesn't hit anything, fortunately, and he's back, but now only a couple of laps to go, and surely it's going to be tricky for Kev to recover from 8th position. So a bit of a disappointment for the Yorkshire driver there in lap number 10. Mark Elder is on lap 11. He's 1.5 seconds ahead of Diogo Silva. And look at Rob Oldham is 3 seconds behind. Jürgen Smets has also lost a bit of steam. He's 9.6 seconds from the leader. But the big battle is here for fifth place. Simon Allen holds that place for the time being. Only a couple of laps to go here, and I think all these guys probably have destroyed their tires. Fred Bakker still ahead of um, Christian Clark, now in seventh. Jorge Luna has done a very slow lap, 2 minutes point 9, so probably he had an off-track excursion is what we're guessing. Let's look for battles, and the gap at the front is increasing again now, almost 2 seconds. It did touch the 2 second gap uh, there. As Mark Alder is going to start his last lap of the race. Diogo Silva 1.7 seconds. We'll keep an eye on this battle, but it seems to me that although Diogo has recovered a little bit, it's a little bit too late. And Rob Oldham has definitely overcooked his tires. He's done 146s. So is Simon Allen, with Fred Bakker maintaining sixth ahead of Christian Clark. And Kev Allen is definitely out of contention here. He is too far behind, more than 10 seconds behind Christian. Mark Elder is going to go for another win. He's got a few more corners to go, and this is the perfect result to wrap up his championship, because he will be crowned champion if the race finishes like this. And he is the winner of the Summer 2022 Championship with 1 round to spare. Through the corkscrew for the final time. Mark Elder, Diogo Silva, 1.6 seconds, 1.5 seconds. It's a little bit too late now for an offensive. And Mark Elder is a couple of corners to go to celebrate winning the Summer 2022 season. As he goes through the final corner, the crew is already waiting for him. The checkered flag is in the air, and Mark Elder is going to win. Second place is for Diogo Silva. Third place, Rob Oldham. Nicely done, the podium position. Fourth place is going to be Jürgen Smets. Fifth place, Simon Allen. Sixth is going to be Fred Bakker. Seventh, Christian Clark. Eighth is going to be Kev Allen. Ninth is going to be Luna. And everyone is on the lead lap here, I believe. So again, we did see a few drivers using race 1 a bit as practice and setting more competitive times in race 2. Well, Luna is actually not that ahead of Matt Coward, so he's got to be careful not to lose 9th place in the last few corners, as Matt is only a couple of seconds behind. But I think he's got probably things under control, Jorge Luna, in the last few corners of this race, as they both approach the checkered flag. And that's going to be it from round 9 of this championship, as Matt Coward also crosses the line in 10th place. And that's it for today. That's coverage of round 9. Mark Elder won again, but the battles behind him were furious. And we shall see you in round 10 to wrap up the season, always in the Liberator channel. Until then, it's bye-bye.